A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a dramatic turn of events, U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin met in Anchorage, Alaska, on Friday to discuss the ongoing conflict in Ukraine, a meeting that has drawn both intrigue and skepticism. The summit, which took place without the presence of Ukrainian officials, raises questions about the future of peace negotiations in the region. As the two leaders arrived at Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson, they were greeted with a display of military might, including US F-22 aircraft and a B-2 bomber flyover. Trump, who rolled out the red carpet for Putin, welcomed him with a handshake and a wave, signaling a potentially warm yet contentious dialogue ahead. Accompanied by Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, Trump extended an unprecedented invitation for Putin to ride in his presidential vehicle, known as the Beast. This gesture, rarely afforded to foreign leaders, was a clear indication of the significance Trump places on this meeting. However, the summit's legitimacy is being questioned, particularly by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who criticized the talks as a theatrical performance that would ultimately benefit Putin. Zelensky expressed concerns that the meeting could lead to a de facto recognition of Russian control over parts of Ukraine, undermining the sovereignty of his nation. While Trump acknowledged the complexity of the situation, stating that there was only a 25% chance the talks would yield an immediate ceasefire, he emphasized that his intention was not to negotiate on behalf of Ukraine. This statement has drawn ire from various political factions in the U.S. and abroad, who fear that Trump's approach may inadvertently empower Russia. As discussions unfolded, reporters were initially allowed in to witness the opening moments of the talks, but the leaders did not take questions from the press, raising further speculation about the transparency and outcomes of their discussions. The meeting, which has been described as hasty and tenuous, lasted over 2 hours, with both sides reportedly focused on finding common ground. The backdrop of the meeting, emblazoned with the phrase "pursuing peace," underscored the stakes involved in these high-level discussions. Despite the absence of Ukraine from the talks, both leaders are under immense pressure to deliver results. Trump, who has previously claimed he could resolve the conflict in a single day, finds himself in a precarious position, balancing domestic expectations with international diplomacy. As the summit continues, the world watches closely, with many hoping for a breakthrough that could lead to an end to the fighting. However, skepticism remains high, particularly given the historical context of U.S.-Russia relations and the complexities surrounding the Ukraine conflict. In the days leading up to the summit, tensions escalated as Ukraine faced ongoing aggression from Russian forces. The international community remains divided on how best to approach the situation, with some advocating for stronger sanctions against Russia, while others call for dialogue and negotiation. As the meeting progresses, the potential for a new chapter in U.S.-Russia relations hangs in the balance, with the consequences of these discussions likely to reverberate far beyond the borders of Ukraine. The outcome of this summit could redefine the geopolitical landscape in Eastern Europe and beyond, making it one of the most significant diplomatic events of the year. In conclusion, while the world hopes for peace, the reality of the situation remains fraught with uncertainty. The next steps taken by Trump and Putin will be critical in determining the future of Ukraine and the stability of the region as a whole. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.